your regular Joe can do heroic things too. It doesn't have to be Batman. It doesn't have to be Superman.
A true story comes to life on the big screen this weekend of a 1952 Coast Guard rescue during a major blizzard. Actor Chris Pine delivers in the role of a sailor who sets out on a wooden lifeboat for the daring rescue in one of the highly anticipated films coming out this weekend. Movie writer Mike Scott, NOLA.com. The Times-Picayune joins us now with his top picks for the weekend. All right, so the question is, the finest hours. Will this be the finest couple of hours this weekend?
Well, that's depends on whether or not you prefer parades or not, right?
Okay, right, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, this is a Disney live-action film, and it being Disney, it's good for the whole family, from Junior all the way to Grandma. So that's the good thing. It also, though, you know, it starts out, it sort of treads that line between wholesome and hokey. You know, it treads over the line a little bit. But then by the time they go out to sea, as you said in the lead, this is a recounting of a 1952 kind of legendary Coast Guard rescue. By the time 25 minutes or so into it, by the time they go out to sea into these 60-foot swells, hurricane force winds, it just becomes riveting stuff because it's a great story. It's got really strong special effects. So any of those kind of hokey, eye-rolling moments that you might get, you can forgive them because you're going to be sucked into this story. It really is a crowd pleaser. Is it the finest movie? Well, maybe not, but it's a pretty good one.
Okay, it probably hits on my biggest fear, which is deep water, and especially violent storms in deep water.
There's somebody in the movie who talks about how they're afraid of deep water. They say, "Why are you scared of it?" She says, "I'm afraid what's underneath."
Yeah.
And Chris Pine says, "Just more water."
And some big fish too.
Exactly.
In certain cases. Okay, Kung Fu Panda
Very good.
3, if I could spit it out. This is one for the kids, but you know, adults will probably enjoy this.
Yeah, this is the third in the DreamWorks animated franchise. And you know, DreamWorks is sort of the big rival of Pixar out there, although a lot of times their films really don't capture the emotion that Pixar does. This one falls into that category. It doesn't get the emotion of, say, Inside Out did last year.
Sure.
But the word on this one is that it's really lively and colorfully rendered. It's a beautiful looking film, and it's just clever enough. It's just fun enough to keep parents entertained as well as the kids. So this won't be one of those animated films where you want to pull your hair out by the end of it if you're watching it with your kids. This one will entertain you as well. Of course, Jack Black returns to voice Po the Panda, who does Kung Fu, as the title says. So if you like the first two in the series, you'll like this one as well.
All right, let's talk about 50 Shades of Black. Last week we had Marlon Wayans in the studio, and that was an experience.
That was, and that'll tell you that tells you what you can expect from this.
Yeah.
Now this one hasn't been widely screened, so sort of caveat emptor. But as you learned last week with Marlon in the studio, he is more than willing to play the fool just to get a few laughs.
Sure.
And so you remember he did the haunted house movies. He did those Scream spoofs. This one's a spoof of 50 Shades of Grey. So even though it hasn't been screened widely, you kind of know what to expect. It's going to be the kind of humor that you just shake your head at, and when you're laughing, you're going to laugh because it's just so stupid. It's funny. That'll be this kind of movie.
Right up my alley. Just absolutely perfect. Mike Scott, we appreciate it. Thanks so much, as always, on a Friday, giving us the movies that we need to check out. That is, of course, if you're not in the mood for parades. All right, we'll be right back after this.